Ohio is situated and has four major advantages over other states. And the first, and not necessarily most important, but the first is our position. You know, we're a day's drive from many of the different energy centers, energy using centers throughout the country, and a day's drive to most of the population of the U.S. That's number one. Number two, often overlooked, is the whole idea of agriculture as a core component of what we do here in the state. Agriculture will be a driver for advanced energy products beyond corn-based ethanol in the future. So that's a big plus. The third is that, and this is the one you hear most people talk about, is that while we don't make many of the advanced, outside of solar, we don't manufacture many of the advanced energy components here in this state. We actually do manufacture all of the ingredients, the constituent components, bearings for windmills, gears for windmills, advanced lightweight materials and polymers for windmills, specialty materials. All of that is manufactured here, and manufactured here in the quantities for sustaining an advanced energy platform worldwide. And finally, and more important than all, in my opinion, is that we have a huge supply of fresh water. And having that access to that fresh water, water and energy are interrelated. And having a direct access by virtue of where we sit as a state to that body of water positions us in a very significant way to be an energy generator. We can use that water to help generate, but we can also use that water as a catalyst in the development of products. And then finally, we can actually pipe and sell that water to other states that need it. So Ohio is actually uniquely positioned. When you look at those four areas, it's hard to find another state that has all four of those entities going for it. The manufacturing base that's here is a key important catalyst of that. If you just look at that, that knocks out a large number of states. We're in the top 5 in the country in manufacturing capacity, and so you're ahead of most of the other states in the union just by that factor alone. And you couple it with the others, it just puts us over the top. And I chose Ohio for 2 reasons. One was coming from the South. I like the idea of having warm, open, hospitable people. And I found that here. It was very, very easy to get along with people, to meet people, to connect. So I'm a sports guy, and I like sports. And Ohio, especially this part of Ohio, actually gives you access to many of those amenities without being in a city that has many of the downfalls of having that. So, you know, I got basketball and football with the Buckeyes, but also I can travel a couple of hours up to Cleveland, or a couple of hours south to Cincinnati, or 3 hours east, and I can go to Pittsburgh. That was important to me, and if I lived in a bigger city, it would take me that long to get to those areas anyway. Because you have this, what I call technology class, young people who are actively engaged in information technology, development of advanced companies and instrumentation, controls, materials. Because you have a lot of that here anchored by Tech Columbus, you really find a cadre of people that's real dynamic, and you can connect with, and so the opportunities that emanate from that are huge as well. I really checked this place out before I came. And what made me do that is that I was and upon interviewing all of the faculty, kept saying, "It's a great place to raise a family. It's a great place to raise a family." And for me, that meant it's probably really boring. So I got together with some of my fraternity brothers who were here, and all of them spoke real highly of the place. And they took me around to different areas. There was a restaurant here at that time called the Marble Gang, and it was kind of like a local hangout spot. And I remember them taking me there and getting connected with the people who started Glory Foods, and it just seemed to really be a progressive place. And you had great shopping, really good restaurants, places, eclectic places that you just wouldn't find in many other cities, and so many of them, little just small shops all over the place. And the sum total of that has been very, very beneficial for me, and that is why I call Ohio home.